Good evening. Hello. This is Lemurian Donna Carroll, and I'm really happy to be here with you tonight. So today is November 22nd, 2020. And with those numbers, I'm thinking that there's got to be a portal that's opening today because it's 1122, 244. Anyhow, I'm sure there is. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing well. I do have a couple of comments. Number one, I was on Carrie Murphy's show, Straight Talk for the Soul, on Friday. And I basically channeled the green-hearted healers. I talked about how I got to know them. And I talked a little bit about selenite. And at the end, I channeled the Lemurian goddess, mother goddess. But a lot of the time was spent giving readings. People would call in and ask a question, and I would answer it. So that was a lot of fun. So if you'd like to check out the replay, you can go to straighttalkforthesoul.com, and I think you plug in your email, and then you'll have access to all of the replays. So if you're interested, go ahead. I had a lot of fun. And this is the third time I've been on her show. Oh, hi. I want to say hi to Lupe. How are you? It's nice to see you. Also, I wanted to mention that I think everyone knows that I got a cat, Chloe, a little black cat, and she's very sweet. When I got her, they told me her name was Atticus. So for weeks, I thought she was a boy until I went down to the shelter and they gave her shots and told me she was a girl. Then I looked on the paperwork and it said U for unknown. So they didn't really know if she was a boy or a girl. But since the name was Atticus, I thought she was a boy. So Chloe, my boy cat, turned into a girl cat. And then I wanted to get her company, so I fostered another cat. And I went down to get him, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And long story short, I picked up this really cute gray and white tuxedo cat. And they told me her name was Trish and that she was a female. And so I took her home, but I renamed her Claire because I didn't care for the name Trish. And long story short is I took Chloe and Claire Monday to the shelter to get spayed, and when I picked them up, they said, "Surprise! You're going to have to rename Claire Clark because he's a boy." And I was like, "What?" So they got him wrong too. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Nice to see you. So basically, my second female that I fostered turned out to be a male. And so both of them, they got the sex wrong on both of them. So they're both spayed and neutered, and they're, adorable. And so I renamed Claire, who was named Trish, I renamed him Benjamin. So his name's Benji, or Ben, or Benjamin. And so I have 2 cats, Benjamin and Chloe, and they're a lot of fun, and they bring a lot of light into my life. When I start to channel, my nose starts to itch sometimes. That's the strangest thing. So again, I was saying, if you want to catch my show or appearance on Straight Talk for the Soul, you can go to her website, Straight Talk for the Soul, and check the recording, check the replay. It was a good interview. It was a good show. And let's see what else is going on. I guess that's about it. I have very minor plans for Thanksgiving. I'm having a friend of mine over, Sunny, who lives in my apartment complex. So I guess that means I have to cook. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to have to cook. But I think at Trader Joe's they have like a vegetarian loaf, so I'm going to run down there tomorrow and see if they still have any, because the guy told me last year that they sold out really quickly, so I should have got mine like a week ago, but I don't know. Where does the time go? Anyhow, tonight I am going to channel Archangel Michael, and I haven't channeled him literally in years, and I rely on him though every day, and I rely on him very, very strongly when I do my readings and do my channelings, because as you know, there's a lot floating around out there. I've seen a few things that, you know, probably would scare the heck out of most people. And luckily, I've come through everything, and that is because I have a lot of help. I mean, let's face it, I have a lot of help. So, and Archangel Michael, I rely on him very, very much. And he's come through for me so many times, I probably can't even remember. And every time I drive, and you might want to do this too, I'm sure you have your own ways, but when I get into the car, I always say, I always call in Archangel Michael, and I ask him to help me not to hit anything, and don't let anything hit me. So that means people, signposts, stones on the road. So he's kept me really safe and clear. So I always utilize him when I drive. And the angels love it when we ask for their help. So I don't know what he's going to say. I'm just going to let him come in and do his thing. And I know a lot of you probably work with Archangel Michael, or I know you're at least aware of him. So I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I did send a little present to the office where I live, because I live in an apartment complex. And it was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but they sent it early. So I think it's going to wind up being a Thanksgiving gift. I sent them some biscotti, so I hope they like it. Anyhow, so I guess we'll get started. So if you want to close your eyes or invite Archangel Michael in yourself, you can do that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the channeling, and I wish you all so well. So without further ado, and I want you to know I always utilize my selenite when I channel, and here it is. I'm going to hold this piece, and I have selenite all around me. I don't really have to hold it. There's some everywhere, but I don't know, I like to hold it. So at this time, I would like to call in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I would like to call in the archangels. I just turned up the volume. I would like to call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Gabriel. I ask for 100,000 warrior protection angels around anyone and everyone watching this channeling now or later. If anything's released by anyone, I ask the angels to transmute it to light, take it to source. And I also would like the energy of Yeshua to come in. I ask him to oversee this channeling, make my words clear, accurate, loving, and truthful. Amen. Also, they're reminding me to let you know that next week, I believe is the 29th, next Sunday, it will be my last channeling here, Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the year. After November comes, I'm taking off December, and I will return to this channel on January 3rd. I might travel a little bit. I'm not sure. I might go to Florida. So just know that next week is the last channeling, and then I'm off for a month. Okay. So at this time, I invite Archangel Michael in, and I ask him to bring in a message of light for all those present and anything else that he wants to say. Amen. Greetings, this is Archangel Michael, and I am very pleased to be with you tonight, this morning, this afternoon, from whichever time zone you are watching this video or live stream in. I am Yes, an archangel, and I work with many, many different angels and other types of light beings on a regular basis. I protect the Mother Goddess. The Mother Goddess is the original form of Prime Creator that came to Earth in ancient Lemuria oh so long ago. She is returning. She will be incarnating in the new age, which is just almost upon you, actually. And I will be incarnating with her as her right-hand man and her protection. I protect her. Now, this entity, although she originally incarnated in female form, has come down many, many, many times to Earth since ancient Lemuria, and has been in male form many times. One of her other female incarnations would be that of Kuan Yin. She also incarnated as Jesus Christ, and many of the Hindu deities are really the Lemurian Mother Goddess. So this entity, Prime Creator, comes down very, very often in just about every culture to teach the ways of the divine and to bring those back to the heavenly values and virtues. So I usually do incarnate with her. If she is incarnating physically, I usually incarnate with her physically as a protector, because I am her first line of defense against all those that would wish to do her harm. And yes, unfortunately, there are those individuals who would like to usurp her power, if you would like to see it that way. So my role, my job, is to ward off all evil, to fight all that are not, who have poor or bad intentions for the Creator, and to protect all life forms who call on me. I am the Archangel who deals with the underdog. I protect those who cannot protect themselves. The earth is, yes, it has been noted that it can be a very lovely place, but it can also be a very dangerous place, depending on the energy that you carry, the frequency, and what you draw into your hologram. Please understand that if you are ever in a tight situation, you are coming into a situation where you might be getting hurt, or someone around you might be getting hurt, or someone is acting criminally towards you, someone is scamming you, someone's ripping you off, possibly you're going to a bad part of town and the hair on your neck starts to rise and you start to feel frightened. At this point, I would advise you, and I would be honored if you would call me in to protect you. When you do that, I come right into the heart chakra, and then my blue flame, my blue energy from my sword, yes, I do carry in the ethers a sword and a shield, will come directly into your heart chakra, and that energy, that blue energy, will permeate your aura and go outward. And what happens is that the energy of that light, that energy in your field acts as a defense. It acts as the intentions, the energetic intentions of those who would harm you, or those who would come towards you in any non-loving manner. They are thwarted by the energy that comes into your heart and goes out into your field. So I request that you call me in at any time, day or night, where you feel like you are in danger or need protection. And Many times I work with a team of angels, warrior protection angels. Also, I work with cleansing angels, and we can come in force if need be. Why do bad things happen to good people? Sometimes bad things happen to good people because they have planned it in their pre-birth planning. They might plan something like cancer or some type of disease. They might plan a car accident. They might even plan an early death. So sometimes if you have decided before you incarnated to undergo certain traumas or certain challenges, and it is for your soul's growth, at that point, the angels do not interfere. And yes, we do know if something is pre-planned and something is designed for your evolutionary growth, and if something is just happening to you happenstance or through the free will that's found on this planet. So we want you to know that sometimes people undergo difficult situations because this is what they have requested in their soul's growth. Often they do it to balance karma. You know, there's an old saying that you need to balance the karma, and that's true. The only other way that you're going to circumvent or get out of balancing your karma is when an entity from the higher planes of consciousness takes on your karma, which is what Jesus Christ did on the cross. He took on the karma of the multitudes and opened a portal to the heavenly realms so that people could get back home much easier. So that happens on an individual basis as well. Sometimes certain saints or certain mystics, certain archangels who incarnate will take on your karma if you have an agreement to do so, or you really just are praying and praying, and the grace of God, someone steps in and says, I will undergo this for this person so they can have a release of pain. And this is why saints and mystics and many holy people suffered so much. Why did they suffer so much if they were so pure? The reason is because they were taking on other people's karma. They were very selfless. They did not want to see anybody being hurt or getting hurt. And so this is what they offered to do. It doesn't mean that all saints suffered, but many, many, many did. And many even prayed to undergo suffering. And this was so that they could alleviate the darkness in this world. Please understand that when the Lemurian Mother Goddess came down initially, the archangels came down with her. We incarnated with her. And we have been incarnating on this planet as humans sometimes ever since. So yes, we are in the ethers, and yes, we have taken on human bodies. And this confuses and confounds some people because they think that angels are heavenly creatures and never deal with humans or come to Earth unless they're visiting. They come down from their heavenly abode in the clouds, and they visit for about a minute or two to ward off any type of danger, and then they go back. This is true, this does happen, but we also take on human lives and incarnate. And this is not widely known. But if Prime Creator comes down here and incarnates in flesh and blood, you can believe that we do too, because we support that individual, and we surround her or him, depending on the incarnation, and we are dutifully sworn to love and protect the Mother Goddess in whatever form she takes and wherever she goes. And honestly, I work in many dimensions, many planets, and many realms with the Mother Goddess. So my main adversary through all the eons of time has been the Mother Goddess's firstborn son, which is Lucifer, who left the realms of heaven to start his own kingdom. Lucifer went into unimaginable darkness, and we have been battling it out on Earth, and in the astral planes and in the hellish realms and in the various planets forever. So when I protect the mother goddess, I am protecting her from her firstborn son. This is really what I'm doing. And both of these beings take on many, many different forms. It is true that Lucifer or Satan is a very powerful adversary. Of course, if you're not in the light, you do not have the power of the light. The light is where creation and love come from. But Lucifer is wily, devious, masterfully intelligent, all-seeing, all-knowing, yes, because he is the line of communication from his mother to the rest of creation, which is why he is so powerful and so able to understand humans and other light beings, their psyches, their needs, wants, and desires. And he operates on those ego-filled needs, seducing people, and before they know it, they're in a bad place as well. However, the good news is that Lucifer, like all of us, like the angels, the other angels, and the mother goddess, have many, many different faces, many different incarnations, many different lifetimes, many different looks, if you will. So these beings have their own free will in whatever realm or reality they choose to be in. And Lucifer has chosen, in some dealings with the mother goddess, and yes, the three of us are incarnating all the time together, the mother, the son, and me. But in some of those incarnations, Lucifer himself, whether he's incarnated as a male or a female, sometimes he comes in as an animal, sometimes he comes in as a cat or another being. We all do. Anyhow, he has come back to the light. Not 100% of his soul has come back to the light, but certain soul fragments, very important soul fragments, have reconciled with the mother goddess or with the creation, the incarnation. And in many incarnations, they're fighting it out and they're battling it out. But in more recent incarnations, Lucifer has decided to make amends, reconcile, and come back to the light. And so there are more than one incarnation in which this has happened. So because this has happened, because he has decided, yes, hey, I'm just, I'm tired of being in hell. I'm tired of being locked out from my friends and family. We are his friends and family. We are his primary friends and family. Before he left heaven, the heavenly realms, the halcyon days of heaven, we were all together, working together, playing together, and Lucifer and I were very good friends before we were great adversaries. And now he has come back into the light. And in those incarnations in which he is coming back into the light, and the channel knows of some of these incarnations, but in order to protect the innocent, she's not going to divulge them at this time. But long story short is that I work with him in even these rehabilitated incarnations where he is doing good, working good, aligning with us, because we need to make sure that he doesn't slip back into his old ways, which is lying and deceiving and confusing. And we need to make sure that he stays on track. And the mother goddess does not give him his full power, obviously, in these rehabilitated incarnations. He is given a little bit. We see how he does with it. And then if he does well, he is given more freedom and more power. But he is on a tight leash because he has been away for millennia. And it is only recently that he has decided to return in these more recent incarnations. 2,000 years ago and after. So this is a little bit of history about what's going on in our dimension. I want you to understand that the angels, we are so full of love with you, for you. All we want to do is help humans come back into their divine nature. Many of you are angels. Many of you are star seeds. You have strong connections with different star systems, the Pleiades, the Sirians, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, the Lyrans. There's so many star seeds here, and many more than are actually known. When you develop your light, when you become a light-filled vessel, star seeds, ETs, interdimensional beings are drawn to your light like a moth to a flame. So if you were clairvoyant and you went into meditation and you called in the holy deities that really oversee your evolutionary cycle and lifetimes, they would dispense their light to you, more and more light. And then when you become so light-filled, you will see many different ETs partaking in that energy. So if you go into meditation, ask if there's anybody else there observing, watching, or participating, because chances are there is, and they love humans because humans have the incredible ability to connect with many, many different forms of life, because many different forms of life were here when they were seated here, and humans are a smorgasbord of tons of different types of energy, including angelic energy, which is why we can connect with you. But essentially, because you have had so much experience in so many different star systems, and you have so many different types of ancestors that are really, if you break apart your DNA, you will see many, many different types of beings that produced the human race. This is unusual, and it gives humans the ability to connect to all types of life all over the universe, the multiverse. And so even if you had, because humans were built upon, the divine creation was fragmented, split, worked upon, biogenetically engineered at certain points. And so certain types of ET DNA came in to the human form. That's why you have different races on your planet, and that's also why you have different types of humans, such as Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon. If you went back and looked at a Lemurian, they would look very, very little like the modern day human. And the same could be true with Atlanteans, although there was more diversity in the Atlantean culture because the Martians came there and various ETs came there, that they did not all look alike. They were not homogeneous. But what I am trying to say is, because of the breadth and the width of your background, and this is true for all humans, you can connect to so many life forms. And this is why it is very important for humans to evolve so that they can reconnect with their ancestors and can reconnect with their neighbors and start turning on the attributes, the abilities, the gifts that were turned off when you went into quarantine. That was a little bit of a joke, but humans went into the third dimensional matrix at a certain time, and when you lost your full consciousness and went down into the third dimension, this is when your abilities, your God-given starseed abilities that your ancestors gifted you with, this is when they got turned off. So it is true that humans have much more abilities than they're even remotely aware of. And one of the great promises of the new age, one of the great happenings of the new age that we are all waiting for, is when humans regain their beautiful gifts and become divine, in divine service, when they go out of victim mode and go into victor mode and go into the mode of helping all types of life forms in many different realities all over this solar system, galaxy, and universe, because humans in their pure state have beautiful, loving hearts, and they will do anything for anyone in need, no matter who that ET or starseed is. And this is what we are waiting for. We are waiting for the return of the fully awakened human. And once the fully awakened human comes back, that being will be traversing the universe, going off in spaceships and traveling to parts unknown, just like in Star Trek, to help those that need their help, to learn, observe, and to exchange information. Because humans are extremely curious, extremely gifted, intelligent, emotional. They are beautiful, beautiful beings. And they have so much to offer one another and the rest of the cosmos, really. So this is a little bit of history, a little bit of what I do. I love working with humans. I love working with angels. There's so many angels here, all types of angels, and many of them have very, very specific gifts. So if you do not know the name of an angel and need help with a certain issue, a certain problem, call in the angel that deals with that problem. If you have a problem with your voice box or your larynx, you're having laryngitis, call in the angel that works with that certain part of the body, and they will come in and start working with you. So again, this is Archangel Michael. I am the angel of the South, traditionally. Raphael is the angel of the East. Gabriel is the angel of the West. And Ariel is the angel of the North. And these are the 4 archangels that surround the throne of the Christ. And so whenever you have anything that needs some protection, that needs some care, if you ever find yourself in a precarious situation, please understand that at a moment's notice, I will be there if you invoke me, ready to protect, ready to serve, and I will do everything in my power to alleviate any situation that befalls you. So I want to say that I love you, I respect you, and I give you much warmth from my heart to yours. This is Archangel Michael saying namaste. And now the channel will come back. Well, thank you, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Ariel. They all end in EL, L's. I think the L's were the, in Hebrew literature, the L's were the Elohim, the Elohim. So I think there's a connection between the Elohim and the angels. I need to research that one. Anyhow, I want to say thank you for stopping by. I wish you well. I send you lots of love. I will be here next week, and then I will be off the month of December. If you have any channeling requests, any deities that you would like me to channel, please shoot me an email at lemuriandonnacarroll@gmail.com. And last of all, have a very happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your friends and enjoy your family. Namaste.